Good morning, Penguin.
Good morning, Penguin.
Hi, we are Jai and Sheridan, and this is a story about how two penguins fell in love, packed up their lives in suitcases to see what the world has to offer. Currently, we are in Bali, sipping coconuts by the pool and building our business together.
Good morning, you two.
So we just wanted to quickly touch on the 3 requirements for getting into Bali. So first of all, you have to have a visa, and we'll leave a link to where you should go to get that. There's some agencies who can help you get that, but the number one website is
molina.immigrasi.go.id.
and depending on how long you plan to stay, we would recommend getting that before you arrive. It's really simple. You go through, fill out all the paperwork. Some people have some difficulty uploading PDFs and their passport image. They turn it around in about 5 days. You get an email with your visa. That just allows you to go through the electronic gates that they have now. You get to Bali. The opposite is you can do it when you get there, but depending on when your flight is, you might be waiting in line for a bit. We were lucky that when we got there, it was late at night and there wasn't many people around, so we just kind of walked through. So the number one thing is to organise your visa before you arrive electronically. The second thing is you have to pay the tourism tax, which I think is about 15 Australian dollars or 150,000 rupiah.
They've just included it. So this is, I think, like 3 months ago, they've just added it in. So it's very new.
And that's to really just give back to the community, the local facilities, the road. We were speaking to GUSTI.
Meet our driver, GUSTI.
And Bali was significantly impacted by the COVID pandemic. They were pretty much shut down and not able to work for that time. So I think they're just trying to recuperate some of that cost. Yeah. And the third thing is you have to fill out your immigration declaration, and you can do this electronically. So we definitely recommend doing that. So you go through the electronic gates and scan your passport and checks your visa, and then you go through another gate, and that's where they will check your customs declaration.
You can do it at the airport as well. They have Wi-Fi. I just feel like, again, to save time, just to get your bags, go through immigration, have the QR code either printed out on your phone. It just saves you a lot, and then you can focus on just enjoying the rest of your time in Bali.
So we'll leave the 3 links to those 3 things below. Click on them, sort them out before you get there, and it'll just make everything so much easier.
It also depends on your visa. So the most common one is a 30-day visa. Just brought out 60-day as well. You can do both those, I think, on arrival. But if you are looking to stay longer or looking for a digital nomad visa, or Kitsa, I think that's how you say it, I think you need it before you get to the airport. And the number one thing is you need a return ticket. Even if you are planning to stay here for an extended period of time, which is where the agents come in, you need a return ticket. That got flagged at Melbourne Airport with us. The next thing is money exchange. Obviously now Bali accepts card. Most places. Yeah. Actually, this morning we went to a cafe, they didn't accept card.
I think they preferred cash. I saw a card machine there.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, but yeah, most places
accept card, and most places will ever accept cash. However, it's good to have cash on you just for like giving tips to drivers if you are getting personal drivers. Also, some of the wrongs and things like that. It's just nice, especially if you handling cash. If you're going to like market, things like that. So, hot tip: do not do what we did. We actually exchanged in Melbourne. Then we came to the airport in Bali and we saw the exchange rate was higher. So I definitely recommend getting the exchange rate in Bali, whether it's the airport or I've even seen signs in Ubud just during the shops. The exchange rate is really good. So don't freak out. You don't have to get it before you're in Melbourne. My other suggestion would be using a card that has no international fees. We use ING.
Yep.
I love it. It's my bank back in Melbourne anyway. I've also heard a lot of other people talking about Wise. I don't know much about it, but I would definitely recommend looking into it, seeing what works for you. Obviously, if you're using credit card, different ball game as well. Easy to have like either Apple Pay or your phone, and then have a little bit of cash on you depending on what you're doing, especially if you're going to waterfalls or activities, parks, national parks where there's often a donation. Maybe it's like $1 or $2. It's just easier to have cash. These are just hot tips from us of things to note before coming to Bali. Obviously, you can't drink the water here, and the water, even in the shower, can be quite damaging to your hair and skin. Being the skincare girly I am, and having curly hair, this was such an important factor for me. So I did a lot of research, and I ended up getting a shower filter. There are a few different places you can get it from. You can get it from Amazon, which I'm getting mine from. There are also places in Bali where you can buy them. I think they're more so in the city, like in the shopping mall, but it's a game changer.
All the hotels and villas here provide you with daily water bottles, so
So you don't have to worry about that.
definitely don't drink the local water here.
Yeah, they've changed a lot of the regulations. So most of the ice, in fact, I would say all ice, maybe not from like a street food store or a really small warong, but a lot of them have ice transported and exported, and you can tell, like, it looks like real.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like it's out of an ice bag, not from, like, you know, in an ice tray.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about that. And even when you go to local, even small restaurants, like we were at a restaurant the other night, we asked for a glass of water and I saw them pour it out of a bottle and they didn't charge us. So they're really good. I think times have changed. I think that fear no longer needs to be there.
I was just going to mention a few things. So most places where you stay can organise airport transfers. We got an airport transfer with the hotel that we were staying at, but also everything here is organised through WhatsApp. We'll leave some links below of the drivers that we've used, and when you get here, you send them a message and organise a price. You can kind of negotiate a price with them, but everything's kind of fair and reasonable.
Otherwise, you can always use Grab or GoJerk, and I do recommend downloading those two apps before you get here. Think of it like Uber and Uber Eats combined into one. It can be overwhelming when you get out of the airport and there's just lines, masses of people, and then when you walk out of immigration, the gates, there's people with signs, which we had a sign all instead of here. It can be a lot, especially if you're tired. It's always nice to either have a personalized driver or an airport transfer, or if you are not going down that route, that's totally fine. So my other recommendation is to either download Grab or GoJerk, and Grab and GoJerk are certified drivers. So I feel like sometimes there can be a lot of uncertainty about who you're driving with, and I've never really had a bad experience with them. So it's kind of like cabs, one through cabs or Uber.
Yeah, definitely recommend downloading Grab and GoJerk. You can get food delivered, groceries,
pharmacy.
Every night we've been catching 2 separate motorbike grabs down to the city of Ubud. We're about 5 minutes out of the city. Costs about 60 cents for a ride down to the city.
They provide helmets, so for 60 cents, it's honestly a bargain.
So we took some precautions and bought a lot of supplements before we came here. So we bought some charcoal tablets. We've got magnesium, hydrolyte.
Yeah, probiotic.
Just as a precaution. The other thing as well, you touched on a little bit, but just pricing. I think depending on where you want to go, of course you can go to the Instagrammable cafes and they'll be, expensive in Australian prices or American prices. You can go to local warongs and they'll be very reasonable prices for great portions.
In fact, they're cheap prices. Yeah. Like last night we got migorin and I got like a little rice dish, and then I think we also had 2 sides, and Jai got a big tang and it was like $15. And we also got a bottle of water. Giving back to local community sometimes can be really nice. Like I know a lot of the cafes are so pretty, and yes, I love the food there too. You can do it both ways, I think. And we're trying to find a happy medium. If you are going to like places like Ubud, Canggu, Uluwatu, and you're going to the beautiful restaurants, I would say don't expect it to be super cheap. That being said, you can find hidden gems, and even this morning, like I ordered fruit salad and scrambled eggs, thinking it would just be like a small meal. It was like a full-on buffet. It had like tomatoes, spinach, beans, eggs, potatoes, probably like 3 or 4 eggs with toast, potatoes, and then my fruit salad was like a decent bowl. So, and that was like all up like $7 for 2. So yeah, I think it depends where you go, depends what you're after, and depends what kind of trip you want as well.
So your money can go far, depending on your choices.
Thanks for watching. We hope you liked the video. We're new here, so hit like and subscribe and follow along on our journey. Leave a comment to say hey.